is Jeremy Martin, Vice President for Energy and Sustainability at the Institute of the Americas, and welcome to our first video interview curtain raiser for this year's Madrid Energy Conference. And we're very pleased to have with us a partner at the sponsor of the Madrid Energy Conference, law firm ThompsonKnight, their partner and lead in Mexico City, Claudio Rodriguez-Galan. Claudio, good to see you.
Hello, how are you, Jeremy? Very nice talking to you again.
Thanks for your time and your firm's support and your personal contribution in the development of our agenda and in discussion. So this is a curtain raiser interview. Obviously, we're doing everything virtual days. The Madrid conference has moved to an online platform for all the obvious reasons. ThompsonKnight and Claudio joined us last year in Madrid for the inaugural Madrid Energy Conference, and we're very pleased to have him and his firm this year as a sponsor. And just a quick note on ThompsonKnight for those who may not be aware of the firm. It's a Dallas, Texas-based law firm with over 300 attorneys across the United States, Latin America, North Africa, and Europe. And I think it's fair to say that it's first and foremost an energy law firm, and it's one that prides itself on its depth of experience on energy issues, which of course is why I've come to know Claudio and how we've met, because of his work as the partner in Mexico and leader of the firm's Mexico City and Mexico practice. But I also want to note something from your bio. You know, we always have these formal bios, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will say that your official bio states that Claudio is considered by peers and clients as a pragmatic and business-oriented attorney. And having come to know you, I think that's a great statement. So I agree with that part of your bio wholeheartedly, Claudio, and I think it's quite accurate. And what we're going to do is actually put some of that pragmatism and business acumen to test here in our interview and talk about your participation on the panel on September 28th. And the panel is called Assessing Latin America's Energy Revolution. And you'll be joined on that panel by representatives from Enel, from Atlas Renewable Energy, and Brazil's Empresa de Pesquisa Energética. Let's start, Claudio, since we, for that panel, have such a wide range and we're talking about all of Latin America. What do you think, what country in Latin America has the most upside, so the most potential for renewable energy? And in answering that, give some reasoning why.
Okay. I think that there are two sides to consider in that question. The first one is the regulatory side, which country is better for businesses to come into that jurisdictions and to be protected and to have clear rules of playing. And the other side of the question regards to the size of the market. I mean, for instance, Chile is very friendly to renewable energies. However, the size of the power market in Chile obviously is not as big as Brazil or Mexico, no? So if we want to see which country is better right now to do business, I think we have to consider both sides of the coin. Which country has more potential because they need more power, and also which country has the most friendly framework, clear rules to go through. So I think that right now, for instance, Brazil has been very, very active in energy transitions for many years now, notwithstanding the change of administration from Dilma Rousseff to Bolsonaro. They didn't change the rules, and they are very active in power auctions. And obviously the size of Brazil is amazing. I mean, it's a subcontinent, no? Mexico has also a very impressive size of the market, of the power generation market. However, we have to understand the new criteria of the new federal government regarding what they're looking for new investments in Mexico. And I think there are still a lot of opportunities in Mexico because basically of their size, no? Obviously, Colombia has been very active with an auction, and Argentina, they are changing a little bit the rules, but they are very big also. No?
It's an interesting point. So, you know, regulatory legal framework and market together, some places more on the first, some places more on the second, which leads to another question. So, overall in the region, do you think the legal and regulatory frameworks are improving in order to accommodate further deployment of renewable energy?
Well, for instance, I think that Colombia has the first auction. It is my understanding it was not as successful as they expected to be. However, they learned from this experience, no? On the other side, for instance, Mexico had very successful power auctions, and then they stopped, no? So definitely the framework is very important for the countries to attract new investments. And they are learning from even from other jurisdictions, from new trends and how to accommodate new technologies in the framework. No, so yes, they are learning for their own experiences, but also even more important from foreign experiences, how to do the things better. No?
Adapted locally. Got
exactly.
It. So that's it. I want to come to something because I've heard you use the term auctions several times, and I'm getting the sense that you see and you are linking the importance of auctions to a lot of what we're talking about already. So when we come to the topic for the panel in the Madrid conference, assessing Latin America's renewable energy revolution, it seems to me that part of that renewable energy revolution for you is the continuation and the success of development of auctions. Is that fair to say?
I think it is. However, as you know, for instance, in Mexico, there will be no more power auctions. However, this does not mean that there are still a lot of opportunities in Mexico for the energy transition. And this comes because of the size of Mexico. I mean, Mexico has a huge potential for solar, wind, and other clean technologies. And the size of the market opens new opportunities, even though we don't have power auctions. However, power auctions are indeed very important. And the last example, even though it's not Latin America, of course, but is the power auction in Portugal last week.
Right, right.
Which was very, very, very successful. And the prices of the power were, they broke several records. No?
And that was for solar, right?
I think it was for solar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think,
but you know, I think that's a perfect example of what we're trying to achieve. And you were in Madrid with us last year, and it's really to continue to bring that nexus of Latin America and Europe. And I think, like you said, from the lessons learned standpoint, so what did Portugal do with that auction, and why did it prove to be such a record-setting auction was something we should talk about in the panel in a few weeks. Yes, it's not directly Latin America as a geography, but in terms of reference and the whole point of the Madrid conference. As a matter of fact, I hope we're able to convince the Portuguese minister to join us and share some firsthand experience. Stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a big announcement on that, but not sure yet. I don't want to be negative here, but let's take this quickly. What would you suggest is the biggest inhibitor or the biggest challenge to overcome at this point in Latin America for deployment or acceleration of renewable deployment?
Well, I think that talking about all Latin America, it's a little bit hard to answer that because some countries, they are very much indeed within the project of energy transition, and some other countries are not. So talking about Latin America as a whole, it can be unfair.
Yeah,
no?
That's a good point.
Yeah, however, I think that, for instance, Central America is very inactive in energy transition. However, it comes to the first answer. The size of the market in Central America is not as big, even though they have a very proactive legislation towards energy transition. On the other side, Mexico, they have changed some rules. And unfortunately, unless we don't understand the final rulings on energy transition, it will not be so much attractive in the following month. However, in about 1 month, the Mexican government will enact a program for energy, and we hope that they will include energy transition and not only oil.
I think it comes back to something you also said, which is the predictability and the stability and sort of the understanding, you know, you're a lawyer, right? So when you're advising your clients, you want to be able to predict what's going to happen if they sign a large term contract for many years with a lot of money on the table, right? And the worst word in the English language is, unpredictability, or at least in the business world. Maybe some people like unpredictability, who knows? Well, Claudio, we're running out of time, and I know you're busy. I want to let you get back to work. Let's take, I always love doing yes or no questions. Everyone who's tuning in to this video knows my appreciation of a quick wrap up yes or no question. So let's talk about COVID-19 and the health and economic crises that are still with us. And do you think that those crises, the economic and the health crisis, have accelerated or slowed down the energy transition? Yes or no? Accelerated or slowed down? Let's put it that way.
I think accelerated. Yeah.
So you believe in this, because I think there's a lot of momentum for green recovery. We keep hearing about the need to recover, green recovery, build back better, some people like to say here in the US. Okay, well, we'll obviously have a lot more time to talk about this on September 28th when Claudio Rodriguez-Galan joins us for our panel at the Madrid Energy Conference, the afternoon of September 28th, Madrid time. We look forward to having you, and thank you again. It was great to see you last year, and we appreciate ThompsonKnight support. And so everyone join us. This video is but a snippet of what you'll hear at the Madrid Energy Conference. So please join us, www.iamericas.org, and you'll see there all the information you need on the Madrid Energy Conference. Claudio, thanks again.
Thank you so much.